Hi. Excuse me. Well, thank you for having me on. So, my experience with NeuroIM has been really great. I heard a lot about it when it first came out and was just, you know, I kind of see. So, before I started taking NeuroIM, I was so frustrated at times. There were countless times during any given day where I would forget something. Like I would forget tasks, forget that I told someone that I would call them or I would send them an email with information. I would forget commitments for my kids and then feel so bad that I missed an activity or an event. And so many times I would excuse myself saying, "This is mom life," right? Like there's just so much going on. I can't remember it all. Or my favorite, if I would just put it in a planner, then I'd remember. But I would feel so let down. I would continue to let myself down. So I decided to start taking NeuroIM. I currently I'm putting I open up the capsule and I put it in at nighttime in my warm renew before bed. And then I take one additional capsule in the morning when I'm enjoying my cinnamate. Um, so as with many of the soul products, the change was really subtle until one day it wasn't. The tasks that I had, they were miraculously like becoming organized. I didn't even think about it. But my husband and I, we started taking them at the same time. We had, had conversations with people about mushrooms. I've got the book that Greg mentioned from Dr. Allison, and I had read about it. There's a woman at the farmer's market who sells mushrooms there. And so I was just really intrigued by them. So we started taking NeuroIM just to kind of see what would happen. And one day in the kitchen, I mentioned to him that I felt like I was on my game. I felt like I remembered tasks. I could actually make a list rather than, this is sort of what I'm famous for, is sitting there and I would sit there with a pen and paper. I got to make a list. And I would go to make that list and I would sit there and I would stare at the sheet of paper and I couldn't remember what I had to put on my list. So I could actually make a list now. And, I made lists. I was checking off tasks. And my husband mentioned that with his job, he oftentimes learns new things and he comprehend things that were being a way that just brought about more clarity. It was easier for him to comprehend new things. So we both feel that this has like changed our brains. It's made it more functional and allowed us to kind of work with it, and it makes all of that other stuff, feel so much better. Your job's better, more efficient. We feel more successful with work and it's really one of those things that it's just another one of the products that we're so grateful that we have, because with that it kind of trickles into every other aspect of our lives, making not only our physical health, which we know all of that stuff is going on with the the mushrooms, but then our emotional, spiritual, mental health is that I feel better about myself because I am getting all of these tasks done and it just feels good.
I love that too, Molly. That is so great. And I want to say, right about this time you started NeuroIM, you also were going through some surgery, and what this did for your inflammation and the other things, the other physical health issues you were having so many other benefits too. And I love that